I hear the Sonic the Hedgehog rings.
I think we all did a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Losing rings.
Victor's gonna take some of those coins.
You pick up a handful of coins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Edmont does as well.
Edmont also
I'll
picks up.
take a few.
Wow, look at all these greedy players over here. Gold
Yeah.
shows up. Everybody's gonna get theirs.
I mean, Victor, you have an entirely empty bag of holding almost.
I do. Yeah. Victor's gonna fill up coins while you guys go deal with the wood still.
Mr. Woodstill Man, I have this Woodstill box. Would you happen to have a key for it?
He tells you that he possesses the key to that box.
May I have the key?
He asks why you're worthy of the wood steel key.
I will recite whatever it is Victor said about how we're here for the protection of the lands or whatever.
The protection of the lands or whatever.
Yeah.
Is that actual words?
Like, the phrasing is important here. Is that what Genie's saying? We're here to protect the land or whatever?
Victor.
Victor said we were charged to protect the lands of Darkon.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we were charged to protect the lands of Darkon. The other two guys had questions for us. What you got?
The wood steel man. You call him my dude? We're still doing this? The wood steel man asks you that though Azalin King does not put stock in such frivolities, he did, upon arriving in Darkhan, receive a Taraka reading. What card represented the center of his cross?
How many cards are in a Taraka deck?
Lots. There's five. There's 5 in a reading.
A reading. Yeah.
Right, I know, I understand that, but like, if we just guessed randomly, like each one of us had a guess, we would have a what chance.
Which card is the worst card you could have in the middle?
I do have one other thought. I don't have any specific divinations prepped, but up on the surface, Zaquiel has contact other plane, which might be able to answer that.
The other option is we could.
Well, is this something I could use a lore on? Is this something that would be known to me?
There's no way that this would have been written down by
Okay,
anybody.
so
Is it?
I imagine it probably ended with Vistana, who gave the reading, being utterly destroyed.
Is there any off chance that during all of Victor's time with Vistani, he would have heard some sort of gossip about this?
Do you have any Vistani lore that you can cash in?
No, I just have Lord of the Graveyard.
Lore for the Great. Nope, that's not gonna.
So what does the center card represent? That's the person's true self?
The center card is essentially your heart. That's the card that represents you. The upper card represents your face. The bottom card represents
That which is hidden.
that which is hidden, which you don't show to others. And the left and right cards tell you your past and future. Or maybe I've got that backwards, but that's about the gist of it.
I think left is past. Yeah. Yeah. No. I was actually listening to the other session, and I saw that an older session, and that was how the layout worked.
The other option is we can tell him that we're worthy because we're stronger than he is, and then see if we can defeat him in combat.
I don't think that would get us the key.
Yeah, there'd probably just be another one that would pop up.
Well, no, if we tell him that we're worthy because we can defeat him in combat, and then he challenges or accepts the challenge.
He might not accept the challenge.
Well, it's fine if he doesn't, but it's an option.
I don't have any idea how we would answer this. There's no way we could possibly know, I don't think.
I'm gonna just post a link to the Taraka deck in case you guys want to take a blind guess. I'm gonna assume that you don't have the cards memorized, but that's the list of all the possible cards.
I do recall that there is a Dark Lord card.
Do you think it's possible it's something about the thing that we're not supposed to talk about, that we all know about?
Possible. Let's wait for this to load.
Do you think there's a card that would best represent that?
Well, let's take a look, but I doubt it, because this would be something that... Like, what's the heart of Aslan Rex? It's more than that. This site takes forever to load.
Hit reload. It's kind of weird. It like tells you there's an update.
That's yeah. I just gave all of you a virus. Ha ha ha. I don't know. I just first thing that came up in a Google search when I did it.
Here's mine. Here's my guess. The dungeon. Because the man is imprisoned here, is he not?
Are you stepping forward and making that your answer to the Woodsteel Man?
Yeah, I will do that.
Okay. The Woodsteel Man is taken aback for a moment. And in what way could you claim that Aslan King is a prisoner of his own domain? And he says it as though it's a completely ridiculous idea.
Because for all his power, all of his magic, he can't leave the borders. He can't cross the borders into Barovia, into Falkovnia, into Lamortia. None of these places he can go.
The Woodsteel Man turns and shows you his delectable smooth buttocks.
Yes.
When he comes back, he's holding a Woodsteel key, but he doesn't place it on the box ahead of you. Instead, he asks, "How certain are you?"
Reasonably certain.
I'd be absolutely. I think we're absolutely certain, to be honest.
I believe that's the truth of the matter. I don't believe that given all that we have seen of these lands.
He leans forward and places the key on the box. He tells you that you have answered the question incorrectly. And as such, the phylactery may, in fact, reject you. And before you can answer, he breaks apart into 1,000 pieces, showering the floor of the room in Woodsteel coins.
Well, fuck. I would have gone for the ghost.
I think, quite honestly, that is the best guess anyone could have made. To be clear,
No, I don't think that there's anything wrong with that guess.
It wasn't a
And-
bad guess, no.
It was the best guess. Come on, you guys.
that was the most educated guess that was possible. I think.
See, I would have gone with the ghost because of Strahd.
Edmont turns and hands the key and box over to Jeannie. And
Okay?
I mean, I'm gonna turn the key in the boxes, and open the Woodsteel box.
So you turn the key. The Woodsteel box doesn't open, and looking at the bone box, you see a seam around one side. It hinges on the other, but you realize it's not supposed to open as you have the key in it.
Oh,
Yep.
The key just is secured into place after you turn it and will not fall out now.
You just put it in the coffin afterwards.
now
Yeah.
are there these holes?
Mm-hmm.
Are they marked in any way?
They're not, no.
Are the boxes the same exact shape? Like, do we have to just guess what order to put them in?
Within a rounding error, they're the same dimensions, and the keys are the same size as
Put
well.
them in the same order the rooms are laid out, with wood at the head, silver in the middle, and gold at the feet.
About as good as
That's-
any of them.
probably a good idea. That's a good guess.
Okay? So, Jeannie, you're doing this?
Yeah.
Not from that space, you're not.
Edmont will be there with her.
All right, let's roll some initiative.
Phylactery has rejected us.
The fly. We need to put something on initiative count 30. And I need...
I told you, we just woke up the Wizard of Yendor.
Oh, I don't want white for this. Let's do... Pink is good. Pink's a good evil color, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Pink is the
Yeah.
evilest color. least that's what Hot Topic tells me.
That's a lot of guys.
He hasn't done that in so long.
Genie,
Yeah.
you reach forward, you and Edmont, one at a time. You put the boxes, and the order you specify is you want wood steel on the left, silver in the middle, gold on the right. Yes?
Yeah.
Correct.
And as you slide the box in, it slides down a few moments, and then you hear the clack of a key turn, and it slides down the last half an inch or so. So it's now sitting flush with the velvet rectangles inside the sarcophagus. Who's at the top of my order?
30.
Sorry, my picture got broken. Yeah, we got a 30.
You do have a 30. What color do I want? Let's do something like this.
Destil exploded.
Still in the call, Destil?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're probably resetting tabletop to fix picture in picture.
All magical effects within this circle immediately cease. Magic weapons in this area lose their effect. Magic spells cannot be cast.
And familiar disappears. I see.
Familiar disappears. Magic items don't function. Genie, you know what? Your turret's a magic item. Are you going to argue against that?
No.
No turret. Turret's gone. If it was here, I don't even know if it was here.
No. It ran out.
Victor, that familiar perched on you is poofs away.
Gonzo.
All our temporary hit points go away.
I don't think so. Well, that would be a magical effect, wouldn't it? Yeah, because you're pulsing magic, so yeah, no 10 hit points. If they were granted to you by magic.
What about Victor's ability to call forth his psychic blades?
That's very magic.
Okay.
His brain.
The indentation, the final one, in the sarcophagus, as you're standing there, you hear it cry out as though in agony, and before long, mist starts pouring up and out of it. A skull forms there, charcoal black, and with gleaming green gemstones in its eye sockets and all of its teeth. And the thing is pouring mist out of all of the cavities of its face, and it just rises into the air. And it's spinning around, looking at each of you in turn with hellacious and murderous intent. Who's next? That was 30.
Picture's still broken, but I can't do anything better than reach
Yeah, Victor.
19, or yeah, Victor at 21.
Yeah.
Victor, you are beginning your turn in an anti-magic field.
Yeah, we're gonna leave that anti-magic field.
Okay?
So does that do it, or do we need to be one step back?
If you're on that square there, you are outside of the magic field. But if you're going to try to project any sort of magical anything into the field, it's not going to work.
Yeah, that's okay, because you know what I have that Evie doesn't?
A short bow.
A short bow.
Fair enough. And Evie standing within 5 feet of the misty skull.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we're gonna see if a normal arrow will affect a short magic skull.
Okay?
Is the magic skull the purple or pink icon?
Yeah.
Pink here, yes.
Yeah, I moved, so I can't steady aim. Does a 15 hit?
15 does not hit.
Okay, then I'm going to use a charge of the sniper eye now that I'm outside of the magic effect.
Okay.
And so that makes it a 20. Does a 20 hit?
20 does hit.
God, that damage sucks. That's only going to be 23 points of piercing damage.
Okay, and it's not magical piercing damage.
It is not magical piercing damage.
So we're going to cut that down to 11. And is Victor moving or staying put?
He's gonna move back. Let me just make sure that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need everybody except Victor to please make me a Constitution saving throw. DC is 15.
2 passes.
Fail.
Ooh, made it.
I'm going to
Fail.
use my intelligence here.
Okay.
That's not a magical effect.
By how
I
much?
got a 16.
Okay.
How
As it-
much? Oh, hold on.
Edmont failed by 3.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to use my reaction to give Flash of Genius.
To
Okay,
Edmont?
that makes it a
Yeah.
pass. That makes it a pass.
So everybody passed.
All right. A cloud of grave dust emanates out from the skull as the mist reaches out, turns into a choking cloud of dust. However, as everybody's passed their saves, none of you are blinded. Who's next?
Next up, we've got Edmont with Evie on deck.
Edmont, fix it.
I'm gonna fix it with some vitamin W.
Okay.
That's a 27 to hit.
27 will hit.
8 points of magical slashing damage.
There's
which,
no magical damage in this circle.
even my innate key empowered strikes.
It's if I read the description of that, I bet it says they count as magical damage. That's my understanding of how monks work when they get high enough level. So any effect you have that says this counts as magical damage does not avail you right now inside this circle.
Okay, sure. All right. Yep. Okay. That's cool. I can just continue to vitamin W it.
I don't know that it's cool. It actually really sucks for you.
Actually,
You got a whip, right?
hey, Mr. Buddy, why don't you make me a Constitution saving throw?
Okay. 10.
Failed. Stunned until the end of my next turn.
He's immune to being stunned. Does not work.
Okay then. I will dock myself that key point.
I've wiped a party with this creature before, running it by the book. Not quite as powerful as this party, to be honest. but
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 will hit.
Ooh. 13 points slashing damage.
Okay.
And I don't think there's any other enemy that this would be more appropriate for, but boot to the head. Crit.
Uh-oh. That's not good. Edmont's just like, I'm just so sick of skulls. I'm tired of them.
Yeah. 12 points bludgeoning damage.
Okay. And moving or staying put?
And that's the end of my turn.
Okay, I need to keep track of my legendary actions here, if you don't mind. This is going to use 2 of them. Edmont,
Sir,
need an intelligence saving throw, please.
don't mind if I do. 19.
19.
Yep.
For a moment, you and you alone see the skull in front of you burst into bright green flame. However, the flames don't feel hot. You feel your vision blinded for a moment, but you get reoriented very quickly. And as far as you can tell, nothing else happened. Who's after Edmont?
Next up, I believe we have Evie
Followed by
Purple.
purple.
All right, Evie's going to attack the skull. I have
Was that a fantastical killer?
Don't forget
that
that
was-
your stuff doesn't come back to your hand if you throw your dagger.
I'm not going to
Yeah.
throw it. I'm going to stand in melee range. I'm going to use my sword. And my Wars of Coordination is not magical, so I can allow Edmont to make an attack. Victor is too far away because he's a coward.
Correct. On both counts.
I'll take that.
I got actually I only got a 17 to hit.
Does not hit.
Edmont got a 13 to hit.
13 does not hit.
Yeah.
It's a tiny floating
For
skull,
her.
and it's bobbing and weaving inside this cloud of mist. It's hard to hit.
Yeah.
All right, bonus action. I'll try to get it with my dagger.
Okay.
That's 24 to hit.
A 24 will hit.
Okay.
There's your sneak attack.
Yep. I can't apply my ability modifier, but I can still do all this sneak attack damage.
That's what matters.
And it's one of the worst rolls I've ever seen. 16 points of non-magical piercing.
Okay.
I suspect we're not doing anything to this thing.
I mean, it's reacting to the blows that you're dealing upon it.
I mean, I think it probably takes half for non-magical.
Evie, moving or staying put?
I think I would provoke if I moved, so I think I'll stay right here.
All right, who's next?
Got magenta pink with red on deck.
Okay. I need everybody but Victor. Oh, let me make sure. When does this anti-magic field drop? Oh, till next round. Okay. Yeah, I need everybody but Victor to please make me a... For some reason, this is a dexterity saving throw? No, it's a constitution saving throw. I'm sorry. DC is 15.
Genie failed.
8.
Wow.
Evie failed.
Orson passed.
If you fail that check, you drop to 0 hit points.
Ah!
Wow.
I am spending 4 blips to automatically succeed.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, let's throw them blips.
So Genie's spending blips. I heard Edmont
Edmont,
is spending
yes.
blips, and Ekon is... All right.
Evie's
Well,
also spending.
Did anybody like fail within like 5?
Oh, I did.
Okay.
I
Ekon, you pass. He spoke up
Okay.
first. So
Okay.
like that's yeah.
So Ekon still has
Bye.
his blips, and everybody else has to spend theirs. As
Yeah.
it lets
No.
loose with this unearthly howl. And as it does, like you just feel the wave of this howl go through your body, shredding your insides, and you stand terribly against it. Wrenches your guts, turns you all the way around. All of you are frightened until the end of your next turn.
That's really bad.
Frightened means you've got disadvantage on checks and attack rolls as long as you can see the source of your fear, and you cannot move closer to it.
No more sneak attacks for me.
And then
I mean, just for a turn.
This is bad.
Yeah, this thing's really powerful.
No, it's the and then that I'm worried about.
Mhm.
Hopefully that was his action and not like a legendary action.
Can't do it on his turn.
Oh, no, that was... Okay, I see what I did wrong here. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm fine. It's all okay. That is the end of the creature's turn. Who's next?
Now we got red
Red.
with Orson.
There is no red yet.
Orson's up. Genie's on deck.
Orson can't get closer.
Yep.
Orson is going to 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 step to the edge of the anti-magic field and dodge
Okay.
so that we're all not clustered together.
Genie with Ekon.
Well, before Genie gets to go, because that was the end of Orson's turn.
Uh-huh.
Who's attacked? Edmont, you've attacked the thing. And
Yep.
Evie's attacked the thing.
Yep.
Evie, no.
Mhm.
Let's stick with Edmont. I think Edmont's the bigger threat for now. Evie's easier to kill, though. Evie,
Yes.
make me an intelligence saving throw, please.
Do I have to?
I mean, you can choose to fail if you want.
Okay. 18.
18, that's pretty good.
Was it good enough?
And for a moment, just a moment, the thing in front of you, rather than being wreathed in a cloud of mist, is wreathed with bright green flame. And seemingly nothing else happens. Who's next?
Let's see. Was that Genie or was that go that
That was the legendary action before, I think, Genie.
Before
Genie
Genie.
and Ekon?
Yep. Genie is going to Disengage. And 5, 10, 15, 20. She's gonna run to this hall.
Okay.
And that's it.
All right.
Because I
Do you have a
just
gun
basic-
or anything, or?
No, I don't. I have
Oh.
a gun, but it shoots magic.
Ah, you're right. Yeah, it really sucks.
Yeah, it's almost like I feel specifically targeted.
Oh, can you tell me Beldross is? Oh, he's on there. Okay, excellent. Then we've got Ekon. We've got Ekon with Beldross.
Yep.
Before Ekon's turn. Edmont.
Sir.
Actually, no. Let's do this to.
To Evie?
Oh, actually, no. Evie, Edmont, and Ekon, the three of you. Go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
17.
Looking for a 15.
20.
Did Ekon pass?
No, 8.
Okay, it throws out a cloud of grave dust, blinding Ekon until the end of his next turn.
Okay.
And now it's Ekon's turn.
All right.
I don't like that it can do all this stuff and block all magic.
Ekon is going to move to here, feeling his way until he feels the
wall?
magical essence of his staff in his hands again.
Sure.
And then Ekon is going to drop to his knees and pray, and I am going to attempt to roll Divine Intervention.
Is this the worst spell in the game?
No, this is the worst class feature in the game.
Oh, okay.
So metal is 10's 10, plastic is 1's 10. I'm a 13th level cleric, so I have to run roll a 13 or lower for this to do anything, and 0/0 is obviously 100.
That's a 96.
You sure he wasn't the upper end?
The rules are very specific about how that works.
You're on your own for this one.
Yeah.
Is that the end of
Well,
Ekon's turn?
I've seen the end of Earthbound. You just got to keep praying.
Who's next?
I've got Beldross. So, what happens when he tries to enter the anti-magic?
When Beldross enters the anti-magic fields, that's a good question, actually.
So,
Should have a note.
polymorph would go away, but my control over him might also go away.
He sets himself.
That's exactly what would happen. Yes, because your control over him is magical in nature. So having Beldross enter this field would have extraordinarily unpredictable results.
I'm gonna do it. So he's your NPC now until the anti-magic falls.
Oh, that's great.
Thanks, second.
Yeah. It's a good thing that anti-magic just suppresses magic effects.
Okay.
Oh God.
Yeah, so he reverts to his green man form with the broken wings. And what's the worst possible thing he could do right now?
Kill the
Teleport away.
Well,
the
he's in
demon.
an anti-magic field, so
That's true.
that's part of the reason it's like, can't be bad.
Go prone on the ground in a fetal position.
I mean, he came here to slay evil, right?
That's
Okay.
my thought of bringing him into the field.
Yeah, his combat form sloughs away. And at one point he had wings. They're broken now. How much movement did he use to get to this space?
10 or 15.
15? Okay.
Yeah.
Ekon.
Mm-hmm.
The creature steps into the room and looks around as though seeing any of its awareness for the first time. And then looks to you and says, "You must give me your word." You have a one-line response before it's the end of his turn.
Or air.
For air?
Yep.
Okay. Who's next?
Let's see. He was at the bottom, I think. So, yep. Scrolling around with 30.
Okay, well, the first thing that happens is my anti-magic field is gone. Second thing that happens is I need everybody to make me a strength saving throw, DC 19.
I think this is the end, guys.
Okay.
I got a 0.
Nice.
Orson
Two.
passes his.
Edmont fails.
I'll roll for Beldras because you don't have his stat block anymore. He passed though, so that's fine.
He's a bear again, right?
No, he's like an angel.
Well, that was an anti-magic suppressing his polymorph.
Oh, is that what? Hold on, let me make sure that's like the effects aren't dispelled; they're just suppressed from.
Yeah, they're just suppressed.
Oh yeah, then yeah.
Unless they're
th-
finished
at this
it.
point, he's a lion again, and he's back under your control.
Yeah.
Who failed that check?
I
That
did.
Ekon.
save.
Genie.
Everybody who failed is knocked prone as the tomb all around you pitches violently. It doesn't feel like an earthquake. You don't hear the stone moving. There's no dust coming from the walls. Nonetheless, the floor rejects you and throws you down. That was 30. Who's next?
After 30, we've got Victor with, I think, Edmont.
Victor having a little nap on the floor.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I'll use my movement to stand up.
So, question, Victor, what can you dark power your weapons to, element wise?
Fire, cold, lightning, thunder, poison, acid, necrotic.
Okay. I was just wondering if Radiant was in there. I'm like, I don't know. Radiant just seems like a safe bet against the skull.
Yeah.
It's also not something the dark powers would give you.
Yeah, Radiant is very specifically left out. I remember when
It was
Record
indeed.
gave us these.
I wonder how lightning would work against a skull.
Lightning's good times.
Lightning
Same thing, it works against everything else.
Lightning is better than lightning number 2, I've decided.
It's either lightning or thunder, I'm thinking.
Clock Spinner's pretty good.
Nothing resists thunder.
Yeah, so we're going to... I'm so glad there's 2 of you next to him. I would like to set this up better, but I don't think we have the time for that. So Victor is going to Dark Powers his way to a Thunder Weapon.
Okay.
And then we are going to fling a dagger.
Okay.
And laugh when it's immune.
You gonna
When
use your
did
bonus action?
Your run out?
The bonus action is to make a Thunder.
Oh, right.
Does a 23 hit?
I don't think Victor was in range of the fear effect
Oh,
originally.
Victor, yeah.
Yeah, he's fine.
He was standing. Yeah, 23 will hit.
That's an easy roll. 37 points of thunder damage doubled would be, what, 74, I think?
74 points.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, 74 points. Beat that, Ekon.
Several things happen at once. The skull cries out in a hollow voice, blows apart into a cloud of powdered bone. There's a jingling sound as the gemstones from its eye sockets and its teeth clatter against the inside of the sarcophagus. The dust and mist swirl together, reaching across over where Evie is laying upon the ground behind the sarcophagus, swirling into the hands of the statue. And by the time the dust settles, as it were, the statue is now holding a large hourglass on its side, filled with the powdered bone from the skull that Victor just shattered. After this happens, the tomb seems even more completely unnaturally quiet than it did a moment ago.
Are we off initiative?
We are.
Edmont stands up, looks around.
I made this thing a little easier to kill.
Is this Aslan's phylactery?
It might be the time that we have.
Well, it's sideways.
It's laying sideways right now, so the sand or the powder inside is not actually moving anywhere, and there's not much of it because this thing is huge. You would have picture, you have to hold it in both arms, and it's made of very solid glass, and the powder inside is only enough to constitute one human skull.
Before we touch that, because I'm pretty sure that'll start a counter that will kill us if we stick around. Is there anything else inside the sarcophagus?
Yeah, there's 3 boxes that Genie placed in there, plus a couple of gemstones that fell out of the skull.
Are the gemstones magical?
Oh, yes. Very powerfully magical.
Genie's going to pick one of them up, pick both of them up.
Okay.
And
Well,
then she's
there's
going
more
to
than 2. There's a whole handful. There were the 2 in the eye sockets and all the teeth.
Oh, well, yeah, I guess she'll gather all of them up, and then she will cast... First off, does anybody need... Assuming we're about to go into... shit's about to hit the fan, does anybody want a catnap? I've got...
I would get my spells and my educator response back.
I could heal up and then get key points back.
Okay, anybody else?
I mean, I could get an extra charge. Yeah, I could get an extra sunblast.
Okay. I will use a 3rd level spell slot and cast Catnap. That takes 10 minutes for them to complete their Catnap. And while they're doing that, I'm going to use that 10 minutes to ritually cast Identify on... I guess I just have to pick one gem. So I pick one of the eyes.
Okay. Genie. So is anything else happening in this 10 minutes? Let's start there.
Is anyone going to identify the hourglass?
Edmont is resting.
I'm not touching the hourglass during this 10 minutes when everybody's resting.
Okay.
I think the hourglass calls for more like something like legend lore than identify.
Yeah.
Genie.
Yep.
Casting Identify upon one of the larger green gemstones
Yep.
from the skull. Your spell doesn't tell you anything helpful. It tells you things that are hateful and extremely malevolent. And you get the sense of a life that has gone on and on for an incomprehensibly long time. Long enough to have forgotten any vestiges of ever being human or anything like it. Enchanting a gemstone like this, in this particular way, is one of the steps of transforming oneself into the ancient dead. You're holding in your hand, in essence, a piece of what keeps Aslan moving.
I have a Horcrux in my hand.
How do we destroy it?
Well, the Horcrux would be more like the phylactery itself, because that would be an object that contains like part of your soul. That's not what this is. This is step 89 of 412 of how do I be a lich.
So what I'm saying, so this is what basically is keeping his body moving?
It's part of it. There's a lot of mechanisms here and a lot of ancient magic that is far beyond your understanding. What you're holding is a very tiny piece of it.
Okay.
You've randomly flipped open to one page in the textbook, and you don't understand what you've read there.
Right. Lighting in the walls. Got you.
Step 1 is be more horrifically evil than Genie could ever imagine.
Yeah. Jeannie thought she was was suspecting she was a psychopath, and then she met real psychopaths. Essentially, like, she,
Victor Mortenheim scared her straight.
Hold my pocket. What's next?
Well, I mean, does anything happen in the 10 minutes?
No, nobody else was doing anything.
All right.
Edmont looks fresh as a daisy.
Yeah, Evie was. She was kind of looked like she was mildly freaking out when fighting the skull, but she looks fine now.
All right.
Okay, so this hourglass.
Yeah, what else is in this room? Anything?
No, that was the sarcophagus, the statue, and 3 boxes.
I'm gonna look at Ekon and be like, Ekon, I think these jewels are all incredibly evil. I think if we destroy them, it will instantly alert I'm making an educated guess and gonna say if we do anything to them, Aslan will know, because this is, I suspect, part of Aslan right here. What do we do with these?
Ekon pulls out a small leather mundane patch and asks for you to hand them over.
Pack?
Pouch.
Pouch, yeah, okay. I'll drop them in there. And then I'm going to pull out one of my scrolls of identify.
Okay.
And I'm going to use it to cast, not ritually, I'm going to cast identify on the hourglass.
And you have to be touching the object to do this, yes? It requires you to touch
Yes,
it.
you have to be touching it.
Okay.
So, I'm like, all right. Before I do this, I'm gonna be like, all right, I'm doing this now.
This is One Ring level magic, so.
And then Victor runs all the way away out into the hallway. I see
Genie.
that.
Yep.
Push your hands on the hourglass, and the glass feels impossibly cold under your feet.
Right.
So cold that it should be like a layer of frost covering it. As soon as you do, you lose the ability to move. Evie, Edmont,
Sir.
Ekon, Victor, Orson too. As soon as Genie touches this thing, you lose all ability to move. It is as though time has stopped in the room, and maybe 5 seconds pass, maybe 5 years pass. It's impossible to say. Your awareness doesn't tick forward with the flow of time. When it does again, standing in your midst is Aslan himself. And he begins casting a spell that any of you are powerless to stop.
What about Victor?
What about Victor?
He was back there. Did he
time
lose his?
stopped.
Oh, did he get time stopped too?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't hear him say Victor's name.
No,
so,
this is a plot spackle spell. This is not even a you get a saving throw situation.
It's plot magic.
The best magic.
I have to drop a curtain for a second, actually.
Uh-oh.
Oh, spell's only got a 30-foot range.
This spell has a DM fiat range.
Yeah, the spells that went off just now functionally have. I think it's 1,000 feet.
I'm worried about the one that Aslan's casting.
It is the one Aslan's casting.
Yeah. Victor, prepare to get pooped on.
Yep.
Everybody's
It's
We're
okay,
all,
just
we're,
give me
all,
a dex save.
we're all getting pooped on with you, so don't worry.
We're all getting banished back to wherever
Oh.
it is we came from.
You guys need to put all your blindfolds up so I can
Oh, that's
do this
meeting
properly.
instruction. Okay. What the hell is blindfold?
Here, let me
Press
reset
B.
the table first of all.
How do I do that?
Just
B.
the B button,
B on your
Oh,
keyboard.
okay.
and
Like a bee.
I can see everybody's little blindfold up there.
Blindfold icons. Yeah.
You guys are so good at following directions. Because I forgot to save these tables after I set the Fog of War, because I'm really good at my job, so. All
You're
right.
very good. I believe in you.
You all become aware that your surroundings begin to change and shift. and you have the sensation of being moved somewhere else. Not physically moved, but moved like sideways in regards to your physical environment. And you find yourselves in a large, square room.
Did we take the blindfolds off yet?
Yes, feel free.
Oh man, look at this old school map.
I feel like I always bring out the old school blue for the end of the campaign, right?
Yeah.
You did. You certainly did in Wild. I remember that.
I did in Flumph Inc. because I used the one out of the Mad Mage book for Flumph Inc. Standing in your midst. You guys are all here, and Beldross is here as well. You can place yourself anywhere in this room you want to be.
How big are these squares?
5 feet.
I feel like we'd probably be arranged similarly to how we were in.
You can arrange yourself however you want. And Beldross is in the
Okay.
room. You were all... As you all kind of come to, and you feel this bizarre shifting effect. You're standing in a very opulent room, as though it were at the inside of a palace with great velvet carpets, and standing in the corners of the room are large, ornate statues, and hanging along the walls are tapestries and ornamental suits of armor. There are 3 exits to the room. There's one up here in the north, one over here behind Victor, and one down here in the corner. Standing on this raised dais in the center of the room are 2 figures. The first is Aslan Rex. The second, dangling from a length of cord, hanging from the high ceiling of the room, as though a chandelier, is a battered, bruised, and naked Duke Darkwood. Hogtied.
Hot.
Aslan reaches up with a dagger. As all of you slowly regain your movement, he slashes the rope. Darkwood crumples to the ground, rolls off in front of Jeannie's feet. Jeannie, you can see that he's been worked over really, really well. And he's breathing, but not heavily. Aslan looks to all of you. Says, I have found the lords and ladies of House Veritas to be pitiable adversaries. And then he waits a moment. Are we done with violence, then? Are we done with little schemes, tricks, secrets? You all can move and talk and stuff now if you want.
Victor looked around.
So
who has the mirror bags right now? Because last I heard, I had them, but does someone else have them?
I thought Ekon had one and you had the other.
He says,
Genie has one. Edmont has the other.
Hey, good position.
when I first arrived in Darkon, centuries ago, I was visited by a curious woman who told me she could assist with my escape. I gave her the resources to build a machine, and he describes at some length this machine that Strahd told you about before. He explains that the woman was powering the machine in a very, very inefficient way. Unfortunately, she was a hag from the lower hells, just one of the most detestable sorts of creatures that could ever walk the earth. And fiends, like this hag, are very limited in their thinking. The best way she could think to power the machine that she was building was with the soul of a very, very powerful wizard. And he steps over and puts his boot on Darkwood's head. Aslan says that he slew the woman once the machine was built, extracted the power device that she had placed in the machine, and implemented his own design from many years earlier that could gather magical... It's not important, and you wouldn't understand anyway.
No, please continue.
But then what to do with the trapped soul that she had given me? I thought to unleash it into Darkon, perhaps bind it to my service. But then I had a better idea. Why not give it to the Vistani? And through the decades and centuries, let it travel amongst them until it winds up in the place all Vistani wind up, in the bowels of Barovia. You would be foolish to have called this man your friend. And he looks at Evie, and I suspect at least one of you has not. Evie, this is your moment of vindication. This is you being told point blank.
But you're being told by Aslan, so...
That's true.
This man's been gaslighting us for years.
Aslan tells you that before he sends the trapped soul off on its merry journey to find its way into Strahd's clutches so that Strahd might use it in his own cockamamie scheme to... Sorry, my dog's freaking out.
Your dog is dogging very hard.
Your dog.
Sorry about that. Okay. Where was I?
Oh no!
All right. Aslan explains that he gleaned many magical secrets from the gem, and...
But if you're talking, I can't hear you anymore.
Oh, great.
I can hear you now.
You can? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Sorry about
Lost,
that.
lost the string.
Did Lulu explode?
I thought Lulu might have pulled a cord somewhere, but looks
That-
like it's... We'll just reconnect to the table. Oh, no, Tabletop Simulator is crashing. That's cool.
Yeah.
Gone.
Table's
Yeah.
gone
It
too.
was long gone.
Table's gone, stream is gone.
Great. All right, I'll be,
You're for
hold
the,
on. I'll be right
for
back.
the stream. Oh boy.
Yeah, this is quite the cliffhanger.
Dog eats computer.
Okay, I've got green
Treble
lights in
is chat-
OBS. Did it come back up?
I don't see the table yet.
Okay.
Did Treble? Did chat go? Did chat go wild?
No.
Oh.
See, it looks like...
It says the stream should be up.
Let me see.
Ba, 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 da, ba, ba.
Move your mouse around. I think it is up.
Okay, good.
I don't see a table yet.
Okay, I can reset that on
Right.
my end.
Shift tab and then join on his name. Oh no, it didn't work.
Yeah, I'm gonna reset the table.
Just put me in my own little hole.
Just like Aslan is.
All right, see if that did anything for you.
I see it. Let's see if I can connect. Yes.
Yay!
All right, back to your evil monologue, sir.
Yeah, I believe he was just about to tell everyone how Evie was right all along.
Aslan says that gleaning magical secrets from the trapped stole in the gem was intoxicating. It was the first time in centuries he'd been able to learn anything about magic. It's not in his purview to share his humiliation with people that come to Darkon. But he knows that you must have discovered it at some time after you arrived. Only from the jewel was he able to learn anything new, and such things he learned were intoxicating indeed. He asks you whether the Duke has ever told you about his adversary. about this lady that he once fought?
Did he?
No,
No.
never
He never
once.
Not a word.
I know Jeannie had asked him a lot of questions about the planes and stuff.
Things had clearly not gone well for him when we found him.
Aslan tells you that he has probed Darkwood's mind using very powerful scryings while he was trapped in the jewel, and anywhere he chased down vestiges, traces of this lady, he found only fear, humiliation, and utter destruction, which to Aslan's palate were like ecstasy. Unfortunately, he was only able to bend these magical secrets he found into one new spell granted to him that he believes is very, very similar to the magic that this lady must have been capable of using.
Oh no.
And so he has used it to create a place for you all. A place of infinite walls that loops back upon itself, from which you can never escape, from which you can never die, until your minds are gone, and perhaps in 100, 200, 1,200 years, when all of your intelligence and capability is faded away to nothing, and all that remains are your dark and tortured souls, perhaps then I will find some use for you and reclaim you from this place. Until then, House Veritas, he says, and he touches his fingers to the crown upon his head. Enjoy my maze. And
Hey, Aslan.
vanishes.
If you're sad, he didn't get anything.
I mean, you still can. He can probably hear you. He's Aslan Rax.
Hey, Aslan, you fucked up. You forgot we're adventurers.
So is this the end of the campaign?
Well, this is the beginning of the final dungeon of the campaign.
I would not put it past you to say, oh, you're mazed, and that's how the campaign ends.
I mean, it might be. We'll see how it goes.
You challenged Aslan Rex, and you lost.
Now, I believe in Flumphscape, you all had to travel into the mazes at one point to rescue the Horned Orphan.
Yeah.
So what differentiates the ladies' mazes from Aslan's mazes?
Aslan is evil.
Aslan's full of himself. I mean, as by the decor. Like you said, this place is opulent, and
This place is it's disturbingly opulent. It's the middle of a vast palace. So, when we come back next week, we have Aslan Rex's maze happening.
I'd like to point out that the augury told me that going there would be good, and I don't think anything good happened.
We didn't die.
I guess that's true.
So the assumption is, right?
Augury only works for 7 days. We've got apparently hundreds of years.
Yeah. So the assumption is that I'm just assuming that Aslan is intercepting absolutely all divinations and just doing whatever the hell saying whatever the hell he wants.
That doesn't sound like something he would do. All right, so for killing the Demi-Lich and 2 zombies,
Yeah.
Yeah.
everybody takes 3,350 experience points.
3,350.
Yep, 3350. I didn't get anybody with the legendary action that would have teleported you to the skull room with a flame skull to fight. That would have been fun, but I didn't get anybody with it.
What was that number again? 3,350?
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
I'm still like 10,000 from a level. And I just burned blips to not get pooped on.
I just
Sorry.
gained a level, actually.
How much XP was that? 3,350?
3350. I did make the Demi-Lich a little easier to kill by rolling back its damage resistances. Other than that, though, it was pretty much a straight-up Demi-Lich with a weird teleportation attack that chewed up 4 legendary actions, and I didn't get anybody. I'm going to call a mulligan on that fight. Let's do that one again.
You might get to.
But the last time I used the Demi-Lich was at the end of Tomb of Horrors, and it was a party wipe. I think I got everybody in that 0 HP attack at the beginning, and yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, that's bad.
No, thank you. Also, they didn't have blips, so yeah.
That's correct. Yeah. Who wants to make a case for some blips, speaking of?
I can go.
Okay, I heard Jeannie first.
All right. Neutral tried to be better than I was yesterday for her discussions on, like, should we leave? This is obviously a trap of some kind, but I don't think we should leave him in there for the various things. My ideal practical solutions to impractical problems for delaying Edmont going into the cage long enough for Victor to get bored.
Okay.
And my flaw, don't worry about it. It was just a setback for deciding
Getting
that for getting what? For
getting
getting
dazed?
dazed. For deciding that she wanted to cast Identify on the hourglass.
Oh,
Sad to say that was not actually Azalyn's phylactery.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does not leave his phylactery in a dungeon filled with riddles designed to help you unlock the phylactery.
Yeah, I mean, we knew that, right? Like, we got in here and we're like, yeah, this is not, but we don't have
this
any
is
other.
plus AF.
Like,
The other people you met had just been people that thought they were going after Azalyn's phylactery that ended up getting enslaved by magic.
yeah.
One of which was a
Right.
goblin for some reason. Who knows?
And then the video.
Okay.
That's my 4 blips.
All right, who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Victor.
Flaw values knowledge over people. That would be flying up in the acid room to try and find where the ceiling was.
There was no ceiling. You were just going to endure vertigo until eventually you got lost forever and didn't know which way was down.
For alignment, whatever it takes. That would be going into the cell to see if holding the change would reset anything in the room.
Okay.
And then ideal, seek the truth no matter the cost. That would be going back into the cage.
Why would you go into the cage a second time?
We asked him to.
Oh, okay.
To tie him off to see if maybe that was what it needed.
I do think I might have described that situation incorrectly when you hear a splash in the acid and then everybody's like, we're leaving this room, like an acid monster is coming. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that was unclear, I guess. Because no, all you heard was the box dropping into the pool of acid from underneath that bridge. The idea is
so the bottle was under the bridge, just
Yeah.
like in Zelda.
the idea is like you talk to the 3 golem guys and they give you the clues to find where the boxes are. So the idea is while you're messing around in the bridge room, you'd have somebody like watching under the bridge or stationed under there flying. Neither of which happened. It all worked out though. It was fine. Who's next?
I'll go.
Edmont.
I've got Lawful Evil, Blood Runs Thicker Than Water, my own blood thicker still for helping Jeannie, standing next to her and helping her out when something terrible is going to happen when we open up this sarcophagus and put all this crap in here.
Okay.
And yeah, no, fam, yeah, I'll be there with you. I have my flaw. This world is filled with predators and prey, and I sure as hell not the prey for his action in dealing with the goblin.
Okay.
For like, nope, you're way out of your league, little thing. And my ideal, life is my canvas, and I will make my mark on it for his incorrect answer, but I feel pretty solid answer to the question of what Azalyn's core card is.
There's no correct answer, by the way. Aslan would never subject himself to a Taraka reading. Any card you said would have been wrong.
What if we had said there is no card?
I feel like honestly that was the best guess though. Do you at least like my reasoning, Brick Red?
As a writing exercise, because I've done this kind of thing in the past, like as a writing exercise, I would go through and just make all of them the best guess. Like I would concoct an argument for every single card, and concoct a reason why every single card is wrong. Like that's kind of the beauty of the Taraka. It's all bullshit. So
Yeah.
but no, Aslan would never subject himself to a Taraka reading. He has better ways to divine things.
Clearly.
Who wants to go next?
I can go.
Ekon.
I have Lawful Good, the Shining Words of Air, lay down a path for us all, for the dissertation on the importance of wood steel to Aetherian religion.
I enjoyed that.
I have my ideal. We'll make it out somehow, for his entire explanation around how we're gonna pop this jester guy out of here, but it's not really our goal. We're trying to find our way home. And I've got my flaw. I'm sure there has to be something good over the next hill for basically the whole session. Like, come on. Come on, we're professionals. We really think he's put his philanthropy in a dungeon filled with traps that help us solve them?
I didn't have a mechanism in place for you to rescue any of those NPCs, but I thought maybe you might try it. And then nobody did. And in fact, Victor tried the opposite.
We tried the first time, and
I guess that's true. Those zombies were about to start eating him, though.
yeah. Oh, and then initiative.
Evie, you want blips, right?
I'll take them. Alignment, chaotic good. I shall do my duty, but I shall always true to myself. Her mastery of languages, helping her communicate with the troubadour. Ideal, I must become a leader others can believe in, for being vindicated in her distrust of Rowan Darkwood after 30 sessions.
We have had no reason to distrust him. All we got was Aslan's word saying he was bad, and I don't believe that.
Yeah, that's true.
Even now, Evie. Even now, after every...
Still look at it. Like, clearly he led us into a trap. He was the one who sent us to that dungeon. And last but not least, flaw no one understands, for Aslan Rex being the only person to recognize that she was right.
Who had the most creative solution to a problem this session?
We haven't had time to talk about that.
We didn't have time to work that over.
I'm gonna nominate myself for the idea of let's do a test run on locate object on the box we have, see if it's even worth doing for the box we don't.
Yeah, sure.
Turns out it was great.
Okay, who furthered the party's goals the most this week?
I think that was pretty sure we're gonna give that one to Jeannie for actually trying to do all the bullshit at the end.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Who was the badass?
I mean, we have a new damage high score.
We got Victor for that one.
That was... Yeah, that Demi-Lich wasn't bloodied when you rolled that attack roll. They only have 80 hit points out of the book. So, I guess we...
He pasted it, so I'm okay with that.
Yeah, if you had a chance to Hunter's Mark, you could have one-shot it.
I was going to, but after watching him use all his actions to like try and one-shot everybody, I didn't have time.
That howl recharges on a 5/6, and it can do it as much as it wants. As long as it recharges.
One?
No, the
Yeah,
one
no
that
thanks.
drops you to 0 hit points. And then if you succeed, it makes you afraid instead.
Moving out of the way like a coward did actually save us in that fight, I think. That would have been a lot harder.
Well, what I was thinking was like if I got out of range, then it moved to chase me. Maybe the zone would move with it, and so you guys would be out of the zone.
We've got one blip for intangibles. Who was intangible this week?
Evie for vindication.
I want Victor for going in the cage and getting controlled.
Didn't you guys already claim blips for those things?
I want to give
Edmont just to give me back up to 6.
Yeah, no, Edmont for everything Edmont did. But
Edmont for Edmonting.
yeah, like
Being the most
Edmont
Edmont he could
for
possibly be.
yeah, Edmont was utilizing his monk abilities very well in the dungeon. I think he did the running walls and the punching and the kicking and the
Yeah, I was
dashing.
disappointed in my acid splash traps. I'm gonna have to.
The acid splash traps.
Yeah.
No, yeah. for the acid splash.
I thought I was
traps.
being super clever by putting acid splash traps. Like I didn't draw the map, but all over the dungeon, and then just having one that was like a long range trap. I thought that would be really funny.
You did get. I mean, we both passed the same, but you got us.
And
You
Edmont
got
has a
him.
straw poll for the week. So
Oh,
blips are
thank you,
currently
everyone.
worth 833. Edmont, you had 2 and you earned 5, so you're rolling over 1 and coming in next week with 6. Ekon, you had 6 and earned 5. Evie had 2 and earned 3, so you're coming in next week with 5.
Yeah,
Gina-
but I've leveled, so I don't need any more.
Had 2 and earned 5, so you're rolling over 1 to come in next week with 6. Victor had 5 and earned 4, so you're rolling over 3. And those are the final blips you will be awarded for Ravenflumph.
Oof. Do I cash them in? Do I cash them in and gain the level?
What's 15?
165.
165.
I don't think I have enough.
I'm 1200
If
away.
I cash 4 in, I can get there.
I'm
Uh,
too.
Oh
let me-
wait,
Because they're 833. And that'll get me.
yeah,
see
it would
what I-
cost every one of my blips. What do I get next level?
You don't have to make that decision now if you don't want to.
No, I don't.
Well, you like before we get started next week, you can decide whether you
yeah,
level or
obviously.
not. All right, so that's it. We're gonna go into the final dungeon next week. It is massive, and it has lots and lots of terrible things in it. The nice part about the mazes is nothing has to make physical sense whatsoever. You don't need to have a through line. You don't need to have like setting or tone, and it can just be completely arbitrary and terrible. It's the perfect wedding of Ravenloft and Planescape coming at you next week.
This bitch.
Thanks for playing, guys. See everybody next Sunday.
Yeah.
Mhm.